Hi, I want to talk to you real quick. I'm standing at my front door. It's raining outside, and this little camera does not pick up well when it's in the house. I want to talk to you. How do you start preparing for your solar system if you want to get solar? Well, it all depends on what you're wanting to use it for. Solar is a good thing to have for an emergency backup, such as running a refrigerator, maybe a computer or laptop, TV. Um, but where should you start? Starting with solar is as simple as looking around your house, seeing what you want to run or what you need to run. If you have a refrigerator that you want to run, then you need to have the power for it. If you have any medical equipment that is a necessity, you start there. Start with things like your refrigerator, maybe a lamp to have some light, a laptop or computer. Add up the power requirements for each one of those things. Now, usually on the back of most appliances, it will give you the total wattage that you need to use to run that appliance. You always start with what you need, not necessarily what you want. if Like I said, if you have medical equipment, a solar setup like mine will charge a power chair if you're using the charger that came with the power chair. A solar setup like mine will charge batteries and lifts, um, oxygen machines, things like that. So if you are a person that require those things, every one of those needs to be added up for you to try to figure your correct size for your solar system. If you're a person that does not have any of those, but you want to run your refrigerator or your microwave, if you're using a microwave, always look on the back of the microwave. There should be a tag there that says how much power that actually draws. Start there. Do not run out first and buy some solar panels and an inverter and a battery, because you can mess up really bad doing that. You want to know how much power you're going to use before you start getting your solar. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make this video super long, but excuse me, something in the throat here. I wanted to talk to you because if you're wanting to start a solar setup, then it's important you know where to start. Where to start is with what you need to do to run the certain things you have, or what you're going to buy. Now, we have a 1,000 watt microwave and a 700 watt microwave. So my 1,000 watt microwave uses just a little bit too much power for my smaller inverter to run. If I was going to use that, I would have to use my larger inverter. The 700 watt microwave will run with no issues. So look in your house, excuse me again, figure out what you need to run, what you're going to buy, what you need to get, or what you want to get before you even go out and buy your solar setup. A solar setup is nice in an emergency situation. If you're going to use solar for a refrigerator, my advice is run your fridge 15, maybe 20 minutes after solar, and then unplug it. That refrigerator will stay cold for hours if you don't open the door. Once you open it, plug it back in, let it cool down, and unplug it again. You do not want to run your batteries now. If you're going to buy it for things like lights, computers, um, yeah, a small solar setup will work just fine for you. If you're going to run a microwave, always check the back of the microwave to see how much power it's going to draw. Do not trust the rating on the front If it says 700 watts, it's going to be 1,000 plus watts easy to run that microwave. If you're going to get into solar for emergency backup, emergency backup doesn't mean running everything in your house. Emergency backup means running things like a fridge, a way to cook, possibly like a microwave. Maybe running a laptop or a computer to have something to do. It does not mean running your whole house. It does not mean running your PlayStation 4, your TV, every light in the house, and run your fridge. Unless you have a lot of money to spend on solar, most people will not try to run their house. Most people will buy solar for an emergency situation only. Think about what you have to run. Think about what you're willing to give up to be able to run certain things. The key to having a decent sized solar setup is, well, one, money. But if you don't have a lot of money and you want to run things like your refrigerator, your computer, your TV, your gaming system, all at the same time, solar's not the way to go for you. Every DC to AC power inverter has a limited number of amps it can push through. If you're going to try to run half the stuff in your house, unless you have a fortune to spend on solar and batteries and a large inverter, avoid them. Buy a generator, it'll be cheaper in the long run and it'll run more things. But if you just want something for an emergency situation, then solar's a good option. Anyway, the first place you start is with what you want to run, what you need to run, not with everything in your house. And I have to apologize for the camera shaking. I'm trying to hold this out, the camera out, and it's really hard to do. As you can tell, my heart keeps going down. Think about what you need to run. A fridge, maybe a microwave. If possible, avoid anything with a heating element. I've brought this up numerous times. So, solar is good to have, but if you want to run a lot of stuff and you are limited on funds, solar's not the best way to go. Now, once you get your appliances, or you figure out your appliances, you have to figure out your inverter size. Once you figure that out, if you are not pulling a lot of stuff, you don't even have to have the solar and batteries right then. You can hook that up to a car battery. Some things you can actually run off of a lawnmower, a riding mower battery. I know I've done that. But the only thing we ran was a small DVD player, some lights, and a fan. And that's all we ran off that. So if you're wanting to run more things, hook it up to your car battery. Once you get your inverter, then you figure out how much solar and the batteries you need. Don't just start off by buying a couple batteries, a couple solar panels, and a DC-AC inverter and think you're going to run everything. You have to figure out how much power you're going to use and for how long. The best way to do this, if you're running a fridge, pay attention to how long and how often your fridge kicks on. That'll give you pretty much the estimate of how much you have to run that fridge if you want to leave it on all the time. Me, I would not. I would take my fridge and let it cool down, then I would unplug it from the inverter, and that way the battery capacity could build back up, or I could use that power somewhere else. Anyway, I'm fixing to go. My arm is like pushing down and it's hard for me to hold this camera, but start off with the stuff you already have or the stuff you know you need, and then work your way from there. Alright, everyone have a good one. Bye.